Now, this is breaking news. Dior Johnson has officially committed to Oregon and actually lost out on millions of dollars. Now, I made this video just a tad bit before he did record and actually decided to go to Oregon. But man, check this out and see the hints that he was pointing at that you guys didn't even notice, and the real reason why he lost out on those millions of dollars to stay in college basketball. Now, check this out. Now, whenever we talk about really highly recruited players coming out of high school, the decision to where they're going to go at the next in the future is always a really big decision for a lot of these guys. Man, if you have a big name, a lot of people are staring at you and wondering, where are you going to go next? It's really very interesting to see the route that these guys pick. But man, some brand new news has just come about that honestly, in my opinion, could sway a lot of people from the certain decisions that they go, and specifically Dior Johnson. And he has honestly been giving us some hints as to where he will be going in the future. Now, first on the list, man, I gotta talk about the NCAA. A lot of you guys know in previous years, and I didn't even think this day would ever come, and a lot of people are saying that the NCAA was never going to pay players. It was honestly a long time before even this talk started to begin about how much the NCAA is really profiting, and of course all these TV companies are profiting off these players' names. A lot of people know this by now, but they're making millions and billions of dollars, while the argument always comes up the players are not making anything, and even the coaches as well. You guys know that big programs make a ton of money, but what about the players? Now, what has happened and is a lot in the recent news is what's been coming up is a lot of people are talking about paying these guys, really getting them some type of money, and it may not even be a lot. Now, recently on Instagram, this has been trending on a ton of people's profiles, and I'm going to put it up here and read it to you guys. Now, it says, according to the NCAA, we will be granted the opportunity to capitalize on our likeness on the college stage. Here pretty soon, us as student athletes are going to be able to brand ourselves and other businesses and companies, any local companies that want to use my social media. And he's just basically explaining, telling them to hit him up if they want to use his likeness or his type brand. Now, that's crazy to me because this has been in the works for such a long time, and the NCAA has refused for so long. Now, what does this mean for a lot of younger recruited players? Are they going to be more interested in going to college? Well, my answer is yes. And the reason I say this is because we know by now, if you can get money and go and play the game that you want to for the rest of your life, a lot of people are going to do that. And whatever opportunity you can to go that route, people are going to do. Of course, you have the G League paying people about $1 million to go and play the game of basketball. And of course, you have other routes, but college has not paid you and you've got nothing from college. But now it's starting to sound like NCAA is really turning a new leaf, and they are going to be playing college players, of course, because of what? Because college players have started to really back down and say, okay, I don't want to keep going through this where you're making all this money off of me and I can't make anything. There's really no logical business where you put in work and you're not paid for the type of work that you do. Now, the reason that I say Dior Johnson and bring his name up is because I saw some figures about what this dude would be making if he does decide to go to the NBL, and I gotta be honest here, I was shocked. I did not know they were making this type of bread in the NBL, but I'm gonna put it up here and read it to you guys. Now, if you guys have not seen this, man, the NBL could be paying Dior Johnson, and of course, this is an estimate of 1.2 mil. 1.2 mil. You can't tell me that's crazy, and that's such a large amount of money for such a young guy coming into the game of basketball. I honestly would think it would be tough for a lot of high school players to make this decision on their own. So I really think they're gonna have to talk to friends and family and try to weigh out what's the best option for them. But of course, a lot of people are going to say, go get your education because the ball will stop bouncing. But man, 1.2 mil to go play in the NBL is huge. And probably he may eventually get to the league after that. He probably will, since he's such a highly recruited player. So really go there, play in the NBL, and then try to get to the league. Man, you are going to be looking at green dollar signs. But that's crazy to me because it's so much money. And in my opinion, I even think that he was making more money than Jalen Green was in the G League. And if they're paying more money than the G League, a lot of people are going to be looking at the NBL because you guys know money talks. A lot of people are going to be looking at the route where they can make the most money. And I think this is really insane in my opinion. But talking about Dior Johnson, he did actually just put something on his Instagram story, again, hitting at those top 5 schools that he had listed back before and stated where he may be interested in going to. And if you guys take a look at this story, now we see Dior running here, but look what shirt he has on. And if you guys didn't see, his top 5 decision, Oregon was in the list for that top 5 decision, and he is wearing that shirt right now. Now, of course, this isn't saying he's automatically going to be going there, but I always think it's interesting when these players actually wear gear for certain schools and they know what it's going to do if they put it on their story or put it on Instagram or social media. People are going to have an inclination and think, oh, maybe Dior Johnson is actually going to end up going to this school. Now, I really think it's interesting, and I honestly like how this dude plays a lot. He's really aggressive on the court, never backs down from competition, and he has been killing in EYBL, who's been killing, and I really wish him the best. But man, I love his game, and this dude is doing the right things on the court, and hopefully he can make it at the next level. But honestly, the money that is coming with these types of decisions is honestly, in my opinion, getting crazy. We're gonna see a lot of these high school highly recruited players actually think twice about where they're going to go. Before, I was honestly just saying that the best route was going to be the G League because they were going to pay you, you're going to play against NBA comp, and you're going to be valid. But I'm really starting to question this, and a lot of people are as well. Is the NBA G League really the best option when you can get similar results? Go somewhere like the NBL, go somewhere like the overseas where they're paying you $1 million to go play. And of course, with such a big name, that's really the big reason why they're going to pay you that bread. You go over there and play, man, you can do your thing. You can improve a ton, still play against professional players. And of course, the style of basketball is probably going to be different than the one that you would be playing at the next level in college or even the NBA. But I think it's definitely a good style. And we've seen a ton of players come from overseas and transition that have done exceptionally well. You have RJ Hampton, of course, LaMelo Ball, and even players like Luka Doncic, who actually, of course, came from playing overseas, went to the NBA, and is honestly doing ridiculously excellent in my opinion. Very good player and has the IQ for the game of basketball. Now, just because you go over there does not mean you're going to have that type of skill or talent, but I find it interesting how these players can really transition to the NBA and still make it out. And that's why I think Dior Johnson is actually going to think twice about this decision and about his college options. But again, college is sweetening the deal in my opinion because, of course, you can still make some money. Now, we're definitely not talking about millions of dollars here like these other routes, but still being able to make any type of money is going to attract a ton of players. But again, this is only if you're really a bucket. Brands are not going to be reaching out to you if you're not a good player or really don't have that type of image. If you're a really good player, that's when you're going to be making the big bucks, the big dollars, and you're actually going to do something in this branding world where you could pick up a brand, make some money. But I honestly think it's shocking in my opinion, and a lot of people really haven't noticed these type of decisions are going to be tough, and we're going to hear it more and more often that a lot of people are going alternative routes. Now, what's been happening recently as well, you guys know this by now, Overtime has been signing players like crazy. They've been getting more and more top recruits. I've seen 2 sets of twins sign for Overtime. The Bell twins were one of them, as well as Emmanuel Maldonado, of course, Julian Newman's former teammate, actually signed with Overtime as well. So I low-key think we're going to see this more and more often where these top highly recruited players end up switching sides, going to play somewhere else and do something that no one has ever done and just try to go straight to the NBA after the Overtime League, of course. But I'm curious, what do you guys think about these moves? Is Overtime really a solid league? Can they really actually do something with this league, or is it just going to be another flop like LeVar's league? Now, in addition to this, what do you think about Dior Johnson, his top 5 picks? Of course, is he going to Oregon? You saw the footage there. And in addition to this, what do you think about him getting paid $1.2 million for his NBL contract? Of course, estimated. And those are the estimated numbers, but I would definitely think twice about going overseas if I was him. For sure, it's a ton of money. And lastly, what do you think about college actually playing their players to play the game of basketball? Man, it's going to be crazy to me. And I honestly always think, man, how much does Zion Williamson really make the school in advertisements? And all these TV companies probably profited off him like crazy. But I'm wondering, what do you guys think about this? Is it officially time? And is this going to attract a lot of the highly recruited players to actually decide and want to go to college? Let me know in the comments down below. But man, make sure you like this video. I appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications. It's free. And guys, let me know in the comments comments down below if you have any other ideas for me and videos that you would like to see in the future. Again, I always take recommendations and I will take those seriously, try to get those vids out, and of course throw up some polls so we get the videos out that you guys want to see. But man, like the video, sub to the channel, man. It's LNH and I'm out. Now, Dior Johnson has just lost out on millions of dollars because of his most recent decision. As you guys know, this is breaking news. Dior has officially committed to Oregon.